Welcome to Lowcountry View of Hilton Head. My name is Earl Yates. I'm your host. And today, my guest, I have Gregg Russell and Executive Chef Stewart. Quite a wonderful show today. Of course, the show is based on Hilton Head Heroes, which Gregg is the founder of, one of the founders. And it's a very special thing that he's doing, not only for our area, but for kids in need. Of course, you'll hear the story, but we also have one of the greatest kept secrets here on Hilton Head, which is the executive chef of Tide Point over there, Stewart. From what I've heard and what I'm going to see, it's some excellent culinary stuff going on over there. And they have an event coming up soon, and that's why they're here, to let you know about it, because you need to participate. Gregg.
Nice seeing you.
Be easy on me, Stephen. There we go.
Don't hurt it.
There it is. Well, of course, Gregg, we'll start off with you. Just let our viewers know a little bit about yourself and then how you came about Hilton Head Heroes.
Well, I've been around here a long time. I'm the guy that makes all the noise under the tree down there in Harbortown. Just finished my 35th summer there, entertaining kids and grandmas and everybody in between, and it's been a good long run there. But I always like to say, every good thing that's happened to me has happened as a result of me being under that tree and meeting people from all over the world, really, and being involved with kids and families. And Hilton Head Heroes is the outcrop of that. 11 years ago, my wife Lindy and I started Hilton Head Heroes, and we were fortunate enough to be able to buy a home down in Sea Pines near Harbortown. And every week, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in and year out, now for 11 years, we are able to bring a family here from somewhere around the country, and they come for a week and stay in the home and go to restaurants and jet skis and kayaks and dolphin cruises and build sandcastles on the beach, and we take care of all of that. And all of these families have one thing in common, which is a critically ill, terminally ill child. So not only do we bring the child, but we bring mom and dad and siblings and grandma and everybody and give them a chance for a week to get away from doctors and treatments and tubes and really experience the joy of all the things here on Hilton Head that sometimes we're too busy to enjoy and sometimes take for granted. And in many cases, it's a chance for these families, knowing the fragile state that their child is in. Many times it's the last time they're together as a family like that in this kind of setting. So it's a chance for them to say goodbye to one of their little ones in a setting that creates memories of a positive nature that they take on long after the child is gone.
Well, besides the fact that, I mean, it shows you having an extremely huge heart of going above and beyond the call of duty of giving back to your community in that way. But also, I mean, that's a huge undertaking. I mean, I think of, you know, not that I have to go through a whole lot, but, you know, arranging every Tuesday to have guests on, you know, okay, but, I mean, you arrange a week out of every year for some special family to come to Hilton Head, and you're organized as far as dinner and where they're going to spend their outside activities and everything like that. Now, how do you go about that? How is that possible? How do you do your networking to find those special families?
Well, it works across the board for us. We have a national board of directors, people who lend us their name and their checkbooks and their credibility. If you watch the NFL on Sunday afternoons, you're familiar with Jim Nantz, probably the best broadcaster that we've known in our lifetime. He's on our board of directors. The last two Ryder Cup American captains are on our board of directors. So we have people like that who give us instant credibility wherever we go. And then we have a local working board of directors who take care of everything you can imagine, from maintaining the house to getting guest certificates to restaurants. And someone meets them when they arrive here, and they take them to the house and check them in. And we have doctors, and it's an amazing network of people who do what they do to make this machine work. And my wife Lindy, who's the executive director, really is the head coach there. She makes sure that every family is treated like royalty. And it takes a lot of people to make it work. And that's why we're here with Chef Stephen today. The folks at Tide Point for the last few years in the fall have hosted an incredible evening for us that gives us a chance to interact with the community, for people to come experience a wonderful evening with a live auction and wonderful food, and for them to contribute and be a part of what this outreach is for this community, which is reaching out to hurting families and kids all across the country.
Now, of course, that brings us to Stephen. And now, Tide Point is, of course, known as the retirement community, but never knew that you have a state-of-the-art, facility over there, and you're like world-class culinary man.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I got a good crew over there. They've been there a long time, and as have I. I'll be there 10 years, November 26th. So this is the 5th year we've been doing this for Heroes, and it's special to us too. I mean, we, as hard as everybody might work, we really want to make sure that our work is reflective of the cause. So, I have 4 children myself, so it kind of, it tugs at you. You want to do the right thing, and that's what we do. And after 5 years, each time you got to get a little bit. Well, we already did that. You got to do, oh, we already did that. So, what happens is, your own success kind of drives you. So now we're in the 5th year, and it's going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be a lot different. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how people react. So. Well, it's worth to come to. It's worth every nickel to come and see. If you don't think so, come see me at Tide Point. We'll give you your money back if you don't think it's one of the neatest things you've ever been to.
Yep.
Now, most times when you think of a chef, at least for me, you think of this kind of doughy dude that has a great palate for taste and everything.
Oh,
and here it is. Yeah, but you're a bodybuilder, man.
Well, but you only need one bite for a palate. You don't need to eat the whole pie. You just need the bite. Your palate only needs that one bite.
But also you have that nutrition background also because bodybuilding is that's a lot of discipline. So not only do you have that palate, but what you're putting out there. It's not just about taste. You got the nutrition and everything.
Right. I have a very good idea about it.
Besides that, tell us a little bit about bodybuilding, man. Come on.
I just started, doing it 10 years ago when I came here to the island, and I was a 270-pound fat guy, and I got tired of it and decided that there was only one way to do it, and I was going to get on stage. I made the commitment to do it. I told people I was going to do it. I paid a trainer up front. Usually, you pay them weekly. I paid him up front for 16 weeks, wrote him a big check for, I think it was like $600 at the time. So, I had my wife in my ear the whole time saying, you better get down there, you paid for that, you got to go down, so, and that's what I did. I went from my starting weight 264 to 204, so I cut 60 pounds in 16 weeks, and that was 10 years ago. So I was just on stage here about 6 weeks ago. I was on stage at 246, so that's kind of how bodybuilders kind of how you measure, kind of how you're doing. You might not always win, but if I was bigger, if I looked better, if I was leaner, that's kind of how you judge it. So yeah, it's I'm as obsessed as the next guy is, as he is with, with what he does, and guys that golf or boat or whatever it is. It's just I'm just happen to be a metalhead. So it's just what I do. It's just what I do.
Now, along with that, you also give us a little vision of your culinary background and now what you're doing for Tide Point.
Well. They spent a lot of money on me, the company. They treat their chefs exceedingly well. I'm a CIA grad. I graduated in 1986. They've, paid for me I've taken trips to Napa Valley 3 different times. I've been to the CIA campus in Hyde Park, New York once. I'm a certified executive chef. I've been through all the training, and the company really takes seriously food. It's one of our biggest marketing things that we do. So needless to say, it's like I told you before, I sell real estate with food. So. There's a lot of guys out there that might work at big restaurants, and you're thinking, well, doing all this, making all this money. I've made about $80,000 with a little 4-ounce cup of chocolate ice cream. So, I had a person buy for that reason. I mean, it wasn't the only reason, but his quote was, if you can make chocolate ice cream like that, I don't have to worry about anything. And he writes the check. So, that's what I do at Tide Point. It's kind of hard to put it into words, but as far as Heroes, we approach that, I think, a little bit differently than most people. I don't really cook a bunch of food and kind of wait to send it out. What I do is we're kind of cooking as we go. I do lobster tempura, and I've got one of my cooks in the back. He's bent over the deep fryer, dropping, he's got 5 or 6 of these sticks at a time into the batter, into the fryer, and he starts frying about a half hour before, and he's working, and I'll be working on the grill, and I'll be grilling skewers of of chicken and shrimp that are going to go on a cilantro lime Caesar salad that we're going to make there a la menu. I got a girl out there, she's going to plate the salad, and then she'll come back with it, and she'll be, you know, it'll be all set up. You'll see it down the table like that. So
Something very special.
yeah, it'll be really sharp.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Russell, you've got the right soldier for sure to put a very nice stamp on Hilton Head Heroes for sure. I have to be there now.
You should.
Please, we'd love to have you come. As we were talking earlier, I do all the events here like everyone does, and most of them are wonderful. But I can tell you, this is very special. What Deanie and Tom Jones and the guys at Tide Point do for us is over the top. And the people who attend, they can't imagine how Tide Point could do as much as they do for the cost that they do it for, and the net proceeds come to us. It's just an amazing evening. And it's on November 4th. It's on a Friday night. It's $75 a donation to Heroes. And we use those funds to maintain the house and bring these families in. And it's another way for anyone to get involved with an organization that is working very, very hard to make meaningful memories in the lives of children and families around the country.
Well, you know, I really enjoyed meeting both of you gentlemen, Stephen
Thanks, man.
and Greg. I think the only bad part about this is, you know, we could do this for probably another hour because I know so little yet. It's just to scratch the surface, but it seems like it's something very special that you guys are doing. Not to mention being special people all
You have
alone.
to be there.
So,
you have to go.
oh, for sure, and you have to be
go.
there also.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, Friday, November 4th.
Open
Seems
bar.
to be something, open bar.
Oh, open bar. Sorry.
That changes the
Sorry.
whole
Sorry.
thing.
Sorry.
You know,
Open bar, top shelf liquor.
I was thinking about
Grape
Stephen's
juice,
culinary skills,
great
and then he
wine.
said open bar.
Yeah.
Well, once again, my name is Earl Yates. I'm the host of Lowcountry View. Stephen Stewart, executive chef of Tide Point. Of course, island famous man here.
Yeah, right.
Gregg Russell, and the founder of Hilton Head Heroes. Thank you for viewing, and take a break, and we'll see you in just a little bit. Welcome back to Lowcountry View with Earl Yates. I'm your host, and for the second part of my show, I have one of my best friends, Chris Rogers. Chris is a local artist. If you've never seen any of his work, all you have to do is come to Roast Fish and Cornbread. Of course, most islanders know that place used to be a Spanish restaurant. Since it's existed, it's had a few Spanish restaurants, and of course, the whole theme of the restaurant was a Spanish or Mexican style until Chris came in and added his flair, which is pretty phenomenal. The food's great, and at this time you can also come in and see him in action. And Chris, thanks for coming on, my man.
My pleasure.
All right.
My pleasure.
Before we get to you being an artist, I mean, you're an island boy. You've been here forever. You had your experiences. Give our viewers a little touch of who Chris is.
A little touch. Well, I was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Fort Bragg. But my mother moved myself and my sister here when I was just a few months old. So basically, I like to say I'm born and raised here, you know. But yeah, I grew up here, and you know, art's always been a part of my life. You know, as long as I can hold a pencil, I've been you know, drawing and whatnot. And I was fortunate enough to go away to prep school in Connecticut and Maine, and college in Maine and upstate New York, and just study some amazing art with some amazing professors, and it's just been an influence ever since. So,
Well, of course, but you also have background in athletics, so you know,
yeah.
you've been, of
Oh, yeah.
course, doing your scribbling and coloring for quite some time, but you've also been a semi-pro athlete. You know, give us a little bit of information on that.
well, I did. I was fortunate enough to play one season of semi-pro soccer in North Carolina for the Railhawks, which was amazing. But that was short-lived because it was right around the time that, you know, I lost my mother. So, you know, that kind of died. But, you know, aside from that, you know, I was playing soccer, I was playing hockey and baseball, and I mean, you name it, lacrosse. I mean, that was just my exit. That was my thing, you know.
And now you look at the artwork that you're doing now in roast fish and cornbread is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
On a daily basis, you can easily see the talent just coming out of your brush. I mean, you've been there now for probably about 2 months now.
2 months, yeah.
And not only transformed a place, but you've created a just a whole vibe of the place that just screams at people when they walk in the door. As soon as you come in the door, roast fish and cornbread now, because of your artistry, has its own personality. Now, how did you come about the inspiration for that? Was that something that you and Dave worked hand in hand, or just divine intervention, so to speak?
I mean, I don't know if I go so far as to say divine intervention, but no, it was definitely a collaborative work, a collaborative of ideas. Starting out, Dave and his wonderful wife, Janet, they had the idea of doing some, kind of androgynous human figures as trees, and their dreadlocks being hair, and kind of like a weeping willow type idea. And so I did 2 smaller murals like that, and after they saw those, they wanted me to do a larger one. And it was from there that, once I started in that space, that they just wanted me, they had idea after idea after idea, and it just kept on going from there, and it's still going. So, and the best part about it is they just give me, and any artist, I think, on any level, whether it's, visual, musician, whatever, poetic, writer, just being able to have free range to do whatever you want to do, that's like the best feeling in the world. And that's what they allowed me to do over there. So, I don't know. I'm happy to be over there,
Well, sure, and you're certainly on stage. I mean, it's easy to see that. Now, you also do a great deal of art that is purchased. You send art not only throughout, Hilton Head, do you sell art, but you sell art all around the country that you ship out.
I have, yeah.
And how does that work for you? Do you see yourself in this Hilton Head market for what period of time? For how long do you see yourself here?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, most of the people that take to my style of art are from elsewhere. I mean, I feel like if you're not painting, straight sunset seascapes or marsh scenes or egrets, what have you, palmetto trees, you're pretty much, that's pretty much the market here. That's what people buy here. That's what people look for here, because they want a piece of Hilton Head, rightly so. But the type of art that I do, the type of art that I offer, where I see myself going, it's beyond this place. So,
well, it's not hard to fathom that, seeing you 10 years from now and knowing that you're a worldwide artist. I mean, the work that you display is unreal. I personally have to say that
appreciate that.
I think the best work you've ever done is hanging at my house.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. But
I want that one back.
No, you can't have it back. But it's easy to see that there's so much more ahead, because I see from different art that you've done in the past to where you are now, just the development of roast fish and cornbread itself. You can see where you started with those, which I like to call the living willows, and move over to the work that you're starting to do now. You found your groove, and this is probably one of the first times that you've gone that much on one project, because of course you're an artist, you're a true artist, you're whether you're at home or in someone else's home, you're still painting all the time. But that's a pretty special rendition of your feelings, is what I look at it and I see, because it's difficult to put words on your feelings, much less putting paint on the wall to express yourself. So that's pretty special. I mean, you're there every day expressing yourself on that wall, and I think it's pretty amazing.
But thank you very much. I every day I wake up, on a daily basis I wake up and, you know, thank the powers that be, you know, for, you know, that gift, you know, for an outlet for me to express myself in that way. You know, I can do it when I'm happy, when I'm sad. I mean, you name an emotion, I can express it, you know, in that way. And it's unlike athletics, you know, it's something that, I mean, I could be 90 years old in a wheelchair, you know, with one arm and still doing it,
Yeah.
you know? It's something that I can pursue over a lifetime, and, you know, however long I'm able to do it, I hope to continue to grow and, you know, move forward, so.
Well, I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. I like to say, and certainly now that you have your own, I would say, studio, you can treat roast fish and cornbread like. I mean, you walk into the place, and besides having fantastic food, you know, the next thing everyone wants to know
Delicious
is
food.
who did the art. Yeah. So you got a lot of art going on there, because Chef David is doing his own art for sure,
Yep,
in the
absolutely,
kitchen.
absolutely.
And those guys back there, you know, you have Big Wayne and Carl and
Absolutely.
Abad and all those guys back there, and back there really putting out what the world is starting to see
Yeah,
as
that's
some
that's
fine
their
cuisine.
paintbrush right there.
Oh, for sure. But on the outside, when you're sitting down at a table and enjoying your meal, there it is, a Chris Rogers original, you know? That has to be pretty special for you, because Hilton Head is a very special place, and also, as far as tourism goes, a very huge place, world known.
Absolutely.
And in one of the best restaurants, if not the best restaurant on the island, your work is on total display.
I couldn't be more happy. I could not be more happy about that, you know. And the reception that I get on a daily basis every time I'm over there, you know, painting, you know, during dining hours when the restaurant's packed, and, you know, I got my headphones on and I'm, you know, in the zone or whatever, and I'll get a tap on the leg or whatever, and, you know, somebody wants to talk to me about my painting, which I'm more than happy to do. I love it, actually. And it's just, you know, compliment after compliment, and it's very humbling, and I'm very appreciative of it, and it, you know, it just reinforces my intuition that this is something that I need to pursue and I will pursue and take it to the utmost.
Yeah, but it's, with all that being said, man, it has to be pretty special feeling, you know, to have your greatest talent, greatest asset to be displayed, and not just displayed as far as walking in and you see your art, but also you're there doing it. So that has to be a very special feeling for you.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And getting the appreciation, like you said, just stacks more cream on top of it. So, you know, I'm extremely happy for you, my man. I mean, what you're doing is very fantastic. And
Thank you.
with your artwork, not only do I hope you prosper from it, but also, you know, so many people get to get something special. I know a piece I have, you know, it's pretty special. So, and before, you know, you've changed your little signature, I have a Rogers original.
Yeah, you do.
My man.
Yeah, you do. All
Thank
day.
you. I appreciate it.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
coming
it.
on.
Thank you.
Well, this has been Lowcountry View with Earl Yates, Chris Rogers, dear friend of mine. Make sure you go to Roast Fish and Cornbread, not only to have some wonderful, wonderful food, but also to see what this guy's all about. I mean, you see it right there displayed completely, how wonderful of an artist he is. And one day, you know, when you're striving to work hard so you can afford Chris Rogers original, you can say, I saw him painting
I like the
there.
sound
Roast
of
Fish
that.
and
I like the
Cornbread.
sound of that.
I know you do.
It's got a ring to it.
Have a good night or day, and I look forward to seeing you again.